Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Haley Hoffman-Smith and I am the friend that helps you pursue your pipe dreams and make them into reality through motivation and manifestation. Got a question on my most recent vlog to do a video that covers everything that I do for a living. And since I do a lot, not only for a living, not just things that I monetize, but things that are for my dreams, and I'm creating content constantly, I thought the best way to do that would be to show you a day in my life. So I'm filming this on Friday, November 13th. Friday the 13th. So I thought, you know, what better way to show you behind the scenes than to just take you along for a full day. Catch you guys up to date currently with the day so far. It basically just started. I start every morning by drinking coffee, writing down my goals, and reading a book. Today I was reading The Holographic Universe, which is a big mind, I don't even know the right word, a mind-blowing book. That doesn't even give it a mind-blowing book. Yes, I guess that kind of gives it proper credence. I just made a protein shake. First, I have 3 coaching calls today. So actually all 3 of the calls today are amazing women from my mastermind. So I have a manifestation mastermind going on right now for the month of November. I had 4 different tiers of that. So the lowest was you could just be part of the Facebook group where we have daily manifestation challenges. The second was that, but you also got a workbook and a meditation. The third was part of a small group mastermind call as well. So I've been doing a lot of those calls throughout the week, which is so fun. I've got 3 groups of 4. We work through goals, we hold each other accountable, we ideate, we problem solve, and then the top one is they also get 2 one-hour coaching calls with me. So I have a few of those calls today, helping these incredible women go after their big dreams and manifest them. That program has been a first-time offer, but it's been going really well and people have been getting really great results, so I think I'll do that again. But that will be the first way in which I make a living, is kind of these one-off programs. I also have my Purpose Pilot course, which I'll show you. I devoted an entire week to filming everything in the Purpose Pilot, and that just kind of generates revenue in the background all day. Okay, I just touched up my makeup just a little bit, drinking my shake, and about to sit down and make a grand plan for the day, which I think is really important because otherwise you're gonna let the day get away from you. This video is sponsored by my 200K balloons.
Just another sunny day in Southern California.
So I'm currently just going through emails. I got a really sweet email from a coaching client that I worked with yesterday. She was actually outside of my mastermind, but she made a TikTok based off our conversation yesterday, which is so exciting because I feel like a lot of the people who come to me and say, oh, I need help with starting a business or finding my purpose, I'm like, take to TikTok. It's like the best way to build an audience, to hold yourself accountable, to create content. So much magic can happen there. So it always makes me smile when somebody actually takes my coaching advice and goes and does something about it. So I'm gonna go hype her up right now. I guess that will lead me to TikTok. As of the time that I'm filming this video, 208,000 followers. And TikTok is really just like going after my dreams. I wanna be a talk show host, if you didn't know that. So being able to talk about these topics and be kind of like a motivational speaker on TikTok is kind of it's like the coolest way to start to pursue it. It's something that I really enjoy. But on the monetization front, to be completely transparent, TikTok has a creator fund. So anybody who has over 100,000 followers can join, and you make 3 cents per 1,000 views. 3 cents per 1,000 views. So to put that into perspective, I've had several videos over the past several months get well over 1 million views. And the most I've made in the creator fund in total amount is still less than $1,000. So that's really not the moneymaker. I do some sponsored posts on TikTok. I try to be really cognizant of mostly offering value, and I only work with brands that I feel really aligned with, but I've done a few sponsored posts which I just calculate based off of my follower rate, or sometimes it's included in like a larger brand activation, or at times I have gotten like free hotel stays or free meals at places in exchange for making TikTok content, which is pretty fun.
It's the West Coast point of view. Easy when it's open summertime. You got every
I have not posted on Instagram in a while, and I I need to be better about that since TikTok is my favorite child. I'm currently writing a caption that was starting to write itself in my head about self-love and self-worth. Just posted. This picture is by Danny Villamar. Change between now and next week. Yeah. I'll be manifesting it for you. Lunch break after a truly fabulous call. I'm ordering kava. Yum. So while I eat, I'm going to get some writing done. You'll know this, but I actually have a copywriting agency. So I do copywriting for brands, which means I write according to their brand copy. Basically, every brand has their own type of language, and so I'll write about their products. I write articles, blog posts. I'm actually ghostwriting a book right now. I've ghostwritten 3 books over the course of just this year, which has been wild, but I do really enjoy that. So that's a huge part of my income, and it does take a good amount of time. I truly love writing, and I love the clients that I work with, so it's a joy to do so, but balancing it with everything has been a true juggling act. I think I do a pretty good job of it though. So yeah, I'm gonna spend some of this afternoon writing. I have 2 more coaching calls later, and then I have a live for the Mastermind, so I'm doing a Facebook live in there. And then of course I have to put in some time to film my TikToks of the day. I guess that's kind of it. I also usually have to record a podcast. So I have a podcast called Big Conversations. It's on Apple and Spotify. Definitely tune in and listen. I alternate between doing interviews and solo episodes, and I have to finish it every week or have it done ahead of time, and sometimes I batch content by Thursdays to send it off to my podcast editor, and then it goes live every Tuesday at noon. While I am waiting for my kava to arrive, I'll talk about my product. So this is the La Luna Blue necklace. I just launched it on Halloween, so that was just 2 weeks ago, basically 2 weeks ago from tomorrow. This is a joint venture that I'm doing with my friend Adley and his business Silvati Designs. Really long story short, you can see like the full behind the scenes on launching it and the whole story in one of my most recent vlogs, The Beauty of Happenstance, because I really just go into full detail. But I wore this necklace when I was modeling for his website, and he basically just let me keep it, and it's become like this whole thing. I love it. Everybody always points it out. So I noticed essentially a business opportunity, and I'm like, let's do something about this. So I called it La Luna Blue in honor of the blue moon. You can order it on my website, and the really cool thing is that we launched it 2 weeks ago and we're already on back order with it because it's just sold like hotcakes. So I'm really excited for more possibilities here, maybe expanding on more jewelry items. I really like merchandise, and like, I think that's so fun and so creative. So we'll see. And then this is where you can buy La Luna Blue. It's just on my website, which I've linked below. Oh, there's my little, you can subscribe to my email newsletter, which is another part of my work. And it comes with a moon mantra, which I'm really, really proud of. So this is a behind the scenes look at the course curriculum of the Purpose Pilot, which I launched in conjunction with Teachable. It's basically split up into 5 days of content, a morning meditation, accountability, guidelines for the week. And the whole intention is to help you discover and execute upon your life's purpose. So in identifying your one thing, meet your limited beliefs, devising an action plan, so like how to eat an elephant, coping with procrastination and feeling stuck, and creating lasting change. People have really enjoyed this course so far. I'm really proud of it, so definitely take it if you haven't already. So I can't really film myself doing this since I'm using the camera that I use to do this, but I do vlog all throughout the week, multiple times a day. I would say it really depends on what I'm getting done. There's some days that I only pick up my camera twice to show little parts of my day if I'm really working, but going out in New York City and being with my friends and exploring, and I don't know, just certain things that come up, I definitely vlog it because of my YouTube vlog. I wanted to make my YouTube vlog really different from, well, I've never really watched YouTube vlogs, so I was like, oh, it has to be something educational. I don't know, this is just like me being a motivational speaker and all. But I wanted it to center around a spiritual lesson. So I choose a spiritual lesson, I explore that spiritual lesson throughout the week. And a lot of this is guesswork, right? It's like, I don't know what's gonna come up that week that pertains to that spiritual lesson, but something always does, which is why. And then I upload the clips and I send them off to a video editor who, she's just, I mean, she's just incredible. I actually really enjoy watching the videos when she sends them back to me. I am still learning on my editing journey. In fact, this very video, which I haven't sat down to edit yet, is gonna be one of the first videos I've edited with Final Cut Pro. I just invested in myself and purchased it because I'm gonna be doing Vlogmas all of next month and I need to be able to rely on myself to edit videos. So I'm very much on the learning curve, but hey, you gotta be on a learning curve at some point in order to learn. As of right now, that is not an income source for me. I think it will be eventually. I'm halfway to the watch hours necessary to be able to monetize my channel. I do actually have a sponsorship with a pretty major brand that you'll be seeing soon, and part of what was included in that brand activation is a sponsored YouTube vid. And again, I'm very, very particular about the brands that I work with, and if it doesn't feel like an organic fit for me, I just won't do it, which is why you don't see a lot of that in my content currently. So as for how I plan out my day, I'm gonna start to plan just like the rest of the day because currently it's 1 p.m. I would show you my Google Calendar, but it has clients' names in it, and I obviously have client confidentiality, and these are my free chunks between meetings. So this is the time that I have to get work done. I'm gonna film, I usually film TikToks at night, and at 6 p.m. today, actually, I have a Facebook Live for my Mastermind. So that's what's going on in between here. And usually when I'm getting asked questions about manifestation, I come up with content for the TikToks. But as for right here, so I have this 2-hour chunk. I'm currently waiting for my lunch, but I know I want to get at least 2 articles done. So I'll do 2 articles, and then usually, so this is like a priority. It's like I have to get 2 articles done right now. But if I, really whiz through it and I finish it up, I can get something else done, which in this case is there's one email that I need to reply to this one brand, email reply to brand. Then here I only have an hour, and sometimes I really need to let myself decompress. So for this hour, I am probably, frankly, going to clean my kitchen. I know that does not sound like a decompressing thing, but my kitchen looks really bad, and I keep seeing it in the background of this vlog, and I'm like, oops. Now maybe I'll just get another article done. I have a lot of articles to get done today. So usually I found that the best way to time block and plan stuff is in my Google Calendar because that's where my meetings are. My little ring light, I swear, he's just always around. Each day, again, does look really different. I just try to have really clear priorities for the day, and I also don't box myself in because some days, especially like I'm a writer, there are days I can whip out articles like nobody's business, and there are other days that I'm being pulled in 10,000 directions because of client work and emails. And what I found to be really helpful is to have a really clear, okay, here are my top 3 need to get done today or else my life is gonna implode, things to get done. And then things that are like, okay, I could get them done tomorrow, but it'd be good to get them done today. And then below that is the things of like, okay, these are definitely on the docket, need to do within the next week, get to them if you can, if not, totally fine. And you just using this priority structure is the best way to go about it. And then from that, I kind of use my intuition, right? Like I have several things I need to get done. I'll kind of feel like, which one do I feel called to do right now? And since a lot of times those priorities can include anything from ghostwriting a chapter of a book that I'm getting done to recording a solo podcast episode to uploading clips for my video editor for my YouTube vlog, I'll just kind of feel it out. And I'm like, okay, which one do I want to do right now? Sometimes if I need to call somebody back or I need to listen to a voice memo, I'll do that while doing something as mindless as uploading all my clips to send to my video editor. I give myself that structure and that freedom throughout the day, and I trust that every day is going to look different. I really don't try to beat myself up if there's a day that I don't get as much done as I'd like, because when you give yourself that space and that rest, you always rebound so hard. I mean, there are days that I just am a superwoman and I get as much done as I would have otherwise gotten done in 4 days. I'm serious. Like if you give yourself that sort of like decompression rest, at least for me as a solopreneur, I found that it's huge for your productivity because you need it. So I've been asking you guys on Instagram for questions for me to answer, and I got a really good question. Do you ever worry about hustling for income compared to a traditional secure income? I used to when I first quit my job to do this, but here's the thing. The amount that I work translates into how much money I make. That means that I'm not gonna ever have a week where I am working to the bone just to make the same amount that I made last week. So that motivates me a lot. And again, at first it was daunting because I was just starting my writing business. A lot of it was referral, so I kind of just had to like build up my name and my reputation. I just noticed, the weeks that I really went after it and really got a lot done, I'd make a lot of money. And then the weeks that I wanted to chill, I was kind of okay with that. And then I started to build out other income sources like passive income, like my course, and obviously like my book sell, which brings me to my book too. So my book came out in May 2018. It's called Her Big Idea. It has frankly nothing to do with the things I talk about now, but still just because of exposure, I probably sell 12 books a week. It is nothing. I never market it. I just think it's because it's like on my website or people look at my bio. It comes out to, I want to say like $500 a month. Like it's not anything that's gonna break the bank. But it is cool that that continues to come forth. Another question I just got says, is this something you see yourself doing forever? And the really cool thing that I can honestly say is I can see myself creating content forever. I mean, I'm really excited about writing my next book when the time is right. It's kind of been one of those things where sometimes I'll sit down and write, and other times I'm busy with client work, so I don't really have the time or the like creative space to write for myself. But I know that that's gonna be coming probably in the next year or so, I really hope. And then being in front of the camera and getting to share and educate, doing TikToks, doing my podcast, doing my YouTube, that, I mean, it's truly what I love. If you showed me my life 5 years from now and I was still doing all of those things, I'd be like, woo, living the dream. Another question that I got is how to balance social life and family. The biggest thing for me is my nights. Like, I'll plan to go out and grab a cocktail with my friends, to go to dinner with my friends. My weekends are very socially charged. And I also communicate with my friends all day long. Like, I really try to put my phone away, but my best friend Ankita and I, we voice memo like all day. And so that really makes me feel connected. A lot of times too, just being on social media and like checking in on Instagram, it makes me not feel so alone. But there are definitely days that I am, like today, in my apartment all day, probably will not see anybody else, but that's okay, because like this weekend I will be with my friends literally all weekend, and last night I was with my friend. I'll be with my family for Thanksgiving, which is great. We are really good about staying in touch. Like, I have a group chat with my parents. I tell them anytime anything happens to me, and we talk on the phone a lot. So it's a balancing act, but again, I play into it very intuitively. Like, on nights that I know I need to stay in and work, I do that. But on the days that I'm like, oh, I really just feel like I need some girl time, I'll call up one of my friends and be like, hey, let's go get coffee, or let's go for a walk, or I want to talk something out. 111, angel numbers all the time. That is always a part of my workday. This is what double fisting looks like during the workday. I have my green juice from Pressed Juicery, and I have, well, I need to refill, but I have my Death Wish coffee. Just kidding. I need like a palate cleanser between the two of these. That was cheesy. It says 333. Something cool I can show you with my podcast. So I just got the episode back from my editor, who does like incredible jobs. In my Libsyn account, which is where I hook everything up, I can log in. It's so cool. I'm about to hit 60,000 total downloads. Yes, I don't have a lot of places to move throughout the day in my little apartment. It's okay, I love it. I'm grateful. This is the dream. But now I'm sitting on my bed. Temporarily, until I move back to the couch to finish another article. In the interest of full transparency, I am a little bit hitting my afternoon slump every day around 3 p.m. It's just natural. It's a circadian rhythm thing. Used to be way worse before I was gluten-free. My eyelids are a little bit heavy, but gotta keep going. I'm about to get on a coaching call, which always enthuses me. In the nick of time, I have finished those 2 articles alongside eating lunch in time for my 3 o'clock coaching call. Woohoo! Okay, I just got off that first coaching call. It was so much fun. We had some really good conversations about bringing a business idea to life. And I know I was gonna clean my kitchen according to my schedule, but I'm really feeling like I need some fresh air. So I'm gonna walk down to my neighborhood Starbucks and get some tea, because my next coaching call starts in less than an hour. I do wanna add along those lines how important it is to switch up your environment, just because like I do work in this very small apartment all day. I can sit in a corner and work for hours without it really bothering me, but sometimes I need to get ahead of the curve a little bit by changing up my environment, getting some fresh air. Like, your body needs fresh air to be productive, so spicing up your day in little ways like that can just be really helpful for your productivity in the long term. Otherwise, like, the energy can get stagnant. So it's kind of one of my productivity hacks. All right, I am back. It was a 8-minute walk at most. And since I'm on X Games mode today, I am gonna go ahead and try to fit in another article. And my next meeting's in just 30 minutes, so let's knock this bad boy out. Whew, I'm getting tired. What a day, what a day. Caffeinate, caffeinate. I will say usually I would just rest. I would really just rest, but I do have a lot to get through today. So another part of my work is, this is more like a hobby. I write for Entrepreneur magazine and I just contribute articles every now and then. I actually had not contributed an article in a while, but I submitted one earlier this week and an editor just got back to me asking for a few minor changes, so I'm just updating those before it can go live. Just had a Luna Blue order come in. So what I do is I update this main spreadsheet, which is exactly what Adley, who's one of my dear friends and business partners, this is what he sees, and so how he knows who to send it out to. So I basically just go on in through my WooCommerce on my site. The sale happened 6 minutes ago and I fill in all of the information. This is funny too because somebody just posted their necklace. So I wonder if someone else saw it and they really liked it. Ooh la la.
We get down to the beat, y'all. It's like
I just finished up the live for the Mastermind. So much fun. I stayed on for about 35 minutes. My voice sort of feels like it's going away because I've been talking a lot today, but it's been really good. I'm going to quickly film just one TikTok video for now. I'll show you behind the scenes of what my TikTok filming looks like. This is where the magic happens.
where do we go when everything feels like it just stays the same? Where do we go from?
Okay, I've added a song and now I add all the text. So it's closed captioning, makes it really accessible, and it also makes sure everybody is keeping up with what I say.
Waiting for something I can get out.
All right, just posted, woohoo! Okay, hi friends. It's now November 14th, Saturday. Last night after I made a TikTok, I really wrapped up the day because I was exhausted. My brain was completely kaput from such a wild day of work. Yesterday was definitely more pedal to the metal than my days usually are, not by much, but still just a little bit more, and I was feeling run down after the whole week, so I made dinner, watched some Gilmore Girls, and went to sleep. I wanted to close out this video with answering some questions that I asked on my Instagram story yesterday. There's some that I didn't get a chance to get to, and well, here we go, let's dive on in. The first question that I got was about what percentage of revenue comes from what of my work, because obviously we went through, I have my social media life, I have my client writing, I have my course, I have my mastermind program, I have coaching. The percentage of revenue is not something that I can say is like the strict thing month after month, just because it has been changing a lot lately as my audience has been growing so much on TikTok. I have more brand sponsorships than before. I used to be writing all day, every day, and now I really kind of do this even split. I'll say that for this month, just to take it at a glance, my mastermind program, which I finished selling October 28th, did really, really well, which is really exciting. So that's already made up a huge percentage of my income, at least for this last month-ish. Writing always is a big chunk, especially ghostwriting book deals tend to be much larger on the financial front. Other than that, I can't really say a clear percentage one way or another. I show up differently for all of my businesses depending on what needs my attention when. And I also wanted to bring this up too because now that you've seen everything I work on, I want to be transparent that I pay for everything that you see in my life. I am completely financially independent. I pay for my rent, I pay for my bills. I think sometimes there's this like misconception that people who live in New York City, I saw TikTok about this, which is why I say misconception. People have like their parents pay for their rent, and I'm completely financially independent. So everything you see is what, you know, has led to my lifestyle or the things that I have, whatever you want to call it. I just kind of wanted to put that out as a disclaimer. And the revenue percentages just keep shifting depending on what I give more energy to month over month, and hopefully I can shift more into being a full-time Haley Hoffman Smith, as I like to call it, where I get to do more of the coaching, more of the content creation, because that's really what I love. I love writing, but I'm also really excited to maybe shift my attention to my next book. Along those lines, I got a question on how people can book sessions with me. You saw me doing coaching yesterday. Obviously you didn't hear what I was saying or how helpful I was being, But you can book sessions at my website. I have a tab called coaching. I am a very laissez-faire type of coach. I don't even really like to call it coaching necessarily, but a lot of times people like to pick my brain, for lack of a better term, about my experiences, about my best advice, and help them devise an action plan or a content plan, or just like elucidate some of the things that they're feeling confused about in their lives or where they're feeling stuck. My Calendly is linked up, so you can choose a 1-hour session or a 30-minute session. You determine the KPIs, and then I show up and help you. Another great question was when I know my work is done. And as you saw yesterday, I usually try to do 3 TikToks a day, and I did 1, and my brain was so overloaded that I was even having a hard time writing like the closed captioning for the TikTok, which I really try to do to make sure the video is accessible. So I called it quits on that day. I'll say that using my priority type of to-do list, like I was showing a bit of yesterday, where I say these are the things that I have to get done today, really helps me, so that if I feel more energy later, maybe after dinner, I can knock out some more work. But if I don't, as long as I've gotten those things that needed to get done that day done, I can feel like my work is done. And just a note on that, just so you don't fall behind, because obviously some weeks you have more energy than others, is to move that entire thing up. So maybe I have a set of articles due to a client or a creative brief due back to a brand on a Friday. Well, I'll probably give myself Wednesday as the day that I absolutely positively have to get it done, just so if something comes up, I have it done. That's always how I've stayed ahead of my work. In college, I would just do something the second that it got assigned to me, because that was the best way to just keep it off of my plate. That's sometimes harder when I am balancing a lot, but the more that you can move up your to-do list or your deadlines, the more that you can feel like you're on top of things, so you're never flailing, or you're never realizing, oh my gosh, 1 hour until I have to turn this in, or this is due and it's not done. Someone else asked what my interns do. So I currently have 2 interns who are very part-time. They really are on an as-needed basis. Skylar works with me on brand sponsorships and partnerships, so she helps me with pitching to brands, which we honestly don't do a lot of, but it's been really fun to get creative with ideas on marketing tactics for these brands, especially with the holidays coming up. And she also helps me draft those emails. Then Cami has been working for me since June, and she also does just miscellaneous things that I need. She helped with the La Luna Blue launch, helping with some incoming emails that come in with people wanting to be on their podcast. So it changes every month, and it's definitely continued to change as my career has changed month over month, but I really like to have my interns in my corner. They're really worth the investment, I believe, because they get great experience, I get great help, and I really like them as people. Another question was how I choose my content topics. I believe the question was phrased in a way of like, do I just take it from a book or what happens? And I truly read and consume content along the lines of manifestation, spirituality, personal growth all the time. And as you start to make that your primary input, you come up with your own conclusions on your own. Creativity really works like that. You know, I'm reading all these different things, and all of a sudden I'll have like a certain epiphany about something, or somebody will ask me a question on TikTok, like how do I get into high vibration or stay at high vibration or something along those lines, and I'll turn that question into a TikTok answering that. A lot of it too is like I'm on my own personal growth and spiritual journey, and so as I'm learning certain things, applying it to my life and experimenting, I like to turn that into content too. So what I try to do is every morning, because that's the time that I come up with my best content, I will just have my notebook with me and I'll jot down some ideas as I go. I always make sure to write them down, because there's so many times I tell myself the lie of I'm gonna remember it, and then an hour later I've checked my email and it's completely gone from my head. So frustrating. So definitely making sure to stay on top of the ideas when they come, even if that means I'm falling asleep at night and something comes to me and I have to get up and turn on the light and go for my notebook and jot it down. And so for one final question, because this video is getting so long along those lines, was about how I content batch. And I truthfully don't. Sometimes I'll get a head start on my podcast episodes. So, you know, I'll have like enough content to last me for the next 3 weeks of my podcast, but I'll make sure, you know, I'm bringing in new people just so I'm ahead of it. But with my TikToks, I mean, what you see is what you get. I stand in front of the camera every single day, mostly, with the exception of a very few days, and I come up with the content on the spot. I think you can content batch. I just really think that works best for me because I'm a very intuitive content creator, in the sense of I don't like to plan what I post. I like to come up with ideas, but then I like to read through the list of my ideas and ask myself, okay, which feels best to post right now? And I actually think that's kind of why I've had the success that I've had, because when I'm speaking about something, I think it's very much on my mind and on my heart, and people can feel can feel that. And so it gives it this extra element of being real somehow. I'm not really sure. As of the time that I'm recording this, I don't content batch. Finally, there's one other thing that I actually didn't film yesterday, but I do have a weekly email called The Hustle, spelled HHSTLE for my initials, HHS. And that newsletter contains a resource of the week. It contains 3 song recommendations, a column for my dog, Fitz-Carlton, super cute, some LOLs, so funny videos or funny memes, a productivity tip of the week, and I usually feature a female founder for the Her Big Idea section. So make sure to subscribe to that if you haven't already. The link is below. I promise it's a really fun weekly email, otherwise I would not send it out because trust me, it takes a lot of work to work on it every single Sunday. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's so much fun to get to share my life with you guys, so thank you for wanting to listen and for tuning in for this video. I'm happy to do more videos along the lines of what it is to be a solopreneur and to be building businesses and creating content. So if you have questions that you want me to create videos around, since this very video came from a question and a comment on a past YouTube video, just drop it in the comments and I will do my best to create a video answering that question. Go ahead, subscribe, turn on notifications, and thank you for tuning in. Bye.
There's something I have to say.